Hey guys, Patrick Wind here, and in this training model I'm going to talk about the full funnel dashboard. First, I'm going to show you exactly how the full funnel dashboard will help you to better understand and analyze your data, and then I'm also going to show you how you can really set it up. So in the download section of this model you're going to find a PDF that looks exactly like the one that I have in front of me. It has 6 pages. The first 5 pages are dedicated to demonstrating how the full funnel dashboard actually works. So as you can see here, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then page number 6 is actually going to show you how to set up this full funnel dashboard in your own ad account. So this is really a very valuable download that you find in this section, and I recommend you to first listen to this video, understand everything about the full funnel dashboard, then download it, download the PDF, and then apply it just with this guideline that you see here on page number 6, and apply this to your own ad account. So before we do that, however, let me first walk you through the full funnel dashboard and explain you why it is set up exactly this way and what are the advantages. So let's get started on campaign level. So we see there are several columns, several lines. Each line in this case is a campaign, and every column is something that we have set up in our personalized and customized columns here. And I like to call it full funnel analysis or full funnel dashboard, or whatever you want. You can name it however you want. The only thing that matters is that you really get all the information that you need. So I usually start with campaign name, then the results, delivery, amount spent, website purchase conversion, value, website purchase ROAS, website purchase, cost per website purchase, ad of payment, website earn, checkout, cost per checkout, so on and so forth. So why do I use it that way? So let's get started with the results one. I like to have it here because it's a good overview of all the other KPIs that we see. Plus it demonstrates me on the very first view already what's the optimization event. So what's the conversion event that I'm optimizing for? In this case, add to cart, in this case, purchase. In this case, within the campaign, we have several ad sets with different optimization events. That's interesting. For me, super important, the delivery column. Here, you either see if a campaign, ad set, or ad is active, inactive, pending review, and you also see the learning curve but you can only see this on ad set level. Okay, so on ad set level, if you have the delivery column in your dashboard, you see how far the learning curve has already progressed. That's super important. Then of course for me, those 3 columns, having them set up in this way makes a lot of sense. How much did I spend? How much did I get in return? And what's my ROAS? So that's our ultimate goal, to increase this number, right? And then we start with all the lower funnel KPIs. So for me, the most important, of course, is how many purchases did I get, and then cost per purchase. How many ad of payments did I get? Cost per website ad of payment. How many checkouts did I get? Cost per checkout initiated, so on and so forth. And for example, this is very cool because it helps us to really understand where we lose people in our funnel on the website, right? For example, out of 100,000 people that initiated the checkout process, only 28,000 people added their payment information. So that's already interesting, right? That 74,000 people initiated the checkout process, but then did not add their payment info. And then from all the people that added their payment info, just less than half of them actually realized the purchase. That is interesting, right? So we could really see some potential for improvement here, and especially here, right? So let's go one step further. Basically, after we have seen the lower funnel KPIs, now we go further up. So before website checkout initiated, we have the website add to carts, right? And then content views, and then landing page views. And there's a nice tool that Facebook allows you also to see the unique landing page views, which is interesting because out of those 345,000 landing page views, they were realized by only 210,000 people, right? But some people actually viewed it twice, and that's a number that is of course very high. So out of 200,000 people, so 200,000 people realized 2 million website content views. How could this be? Well, because on average in this specific campaign, one person on average view 10 specific contents, right? So do not be afraid if your website content views is higher than the unique landing page views or the normal landing page views, because it's normal, because on average a person can view several contents, therefore several products, right? Then we go into the Facebook internal data, which is measured not with your pixel, but within Facebook. So here we have the outbound clicks, the link clicks, the CPC and the CTR. And for me, it's super important that we measure here the CPC cost per link click and CTR link click, okay? And not just the average, not clicks all, because clicks all could also be someone that just puts a like on your post, a comment, or shares a post, but it does not necessarily mean that they actually came to a website, which is what really matters to us. And then if we go one step above, even we see the CPM, how much how much it costs us to reach 1,000 people, and then we can even separate between like reach and impression. And for me, first of all, it's super important that you understand the difference between reach and impression, so I'm going to explain it to you in a second. But it's also important for me that you understand, if you're not 100% aware what one of those columns actually mean, then you simply, within your ads, within your ad account, you can simply hover over the title with your mouse, and it will pop up an explanation field which explains it very nicely. So for example, what's the difference between reach and impression? Okay, we see we have a lot of impressions, but our reach is not so much. What does it mean? Well, I'll give you a small example. Let's say you have 3 people in a room, okay? One of those people you target, you show the ad twice, and to the other people you show the ad once. So therefore you have, of course, reached 3 people, but you have shown 4 impressions, right? And therefore impression is basically reach multiplied by average frequency, okay? So therefore in this case, the 6 million reach by 12 frequency gives 78 million impressions, okay? And then the question, what's social reach and social impression? Well, I recommend you to investigate that on your own. You can simply go into ad account and hover over it with your mouse and see what it tells you. But just a quick trick, just a quick hint, it basically means how many, so out of those 6.5 million people, how many people were friends of fans who already like your page. So, but hover over it with your mouse and get more information. I like you to do this little exercise. So, and then we have some further information which is also helpful. I call it administrative dates, like when was the campaign created, when was the last edit, when did it start, when did it end. So that was it on campaign level, but of course there are also some further interesting columns that we have, for example, on ad set level and then on ad level. So what else can we see on ad set level which we cannot see on campaign level? Well, for example, everything that comes when it comes to budget and bid strategy. So for example, the bid strategy you see here, is it either lowest cost or target cost? Which is the target cost we have chosen? Okay, so it's not necessary to really always put those things in your ad set name, right? Because you can also just have the column which tells you that. Super interesting, the amount spent percentage. So if we're reaching 100% here on all the ad sets, well, it's clear that we restrict our performance by budget. In this case, we're good. I mean, we gave them high budgets anyways. How much is the budget remaining still? And then, interesting, we have an age column, a gender column, location column. So that's already interesting, right? So it's not necessary to always label every ad set with, is it a man, is it for men or women, the age. I mean, you can also see it just in the column here, right? And then post engagement, which basically sums up likes, comments, and shares, and then the cost per page engagement. I also included it on ad level, the post engagement, because I also like to see which specific ad has already received a lot of social proof. Okay. What is, however, the most important on ad level is the relevance score. Okay. You really want to have relevance scores that are at least 5. okay? 5 to 6 is okay, but really try to aim for 7, 8, or even 9 and 10 when you're lucky. But when you're at 7 or 8, you're okay. How's the relevance score derived? Well, it's basically a sum of the positive and negative feedback and the expected conversion rate. But that's a whole huge topic that we're going to discuss in another model. However, here some further elements that you can also use with columns, like where's the external link? So when people click on this ad, where do I bring them? Okay, what's the headline and the copy? So you can really see a nice overview even without clicking on preview, and you really understand what is going on within one specific ad. So and last thing I wanted to mention here is also, if you see campaign name, ad set name and ad name, those columns are super cool because they always help you to orient, to better orientate yourself. So for example, if you're on ad set level and you don't know, okay, this ad set, in which campaign is it actually? Of course, you can go in there and find and then click on the specific campaign, but you could also simply have the column campaign name, and you see here the exact campaign where it is in, and the same on ad level, you see in which campaign is it and in which ad set level. So that's very helpful to really orient yourself within your ad level or ad set level. So the last page here is basically demonstrating a clear guideline on how you can set up this full funnel dashboard. So you just go on customize columns, and then you just apply it in this order. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and then all of those, and then all of those, and then those. So with setting up those 45 columns, you're gonna be able to apply the same full funnel dashboard to your own campaigns. Very important, please save it always. So once you have selected all of them, you have to, on the left side it says save as, and then you just give it the name whatever you want, and then you're good to start, and then you will be able to apply this full funnel dashboard also to your own campaigns. Thank you very much for listening, and see you in the next model. Goodbye.